because as I mentioned to you guys coming into this year has been the craziest, and I've prepared you guys for this. I said it's going to be the messiest tax season ever, and honestly, so far, I've reigned true. It's been messy, messy, messy. Okay. So if you guys are not following me on all things social media, head over and follow me on every platform, Folasade the Accountant, and on Facebook, Folasade the Accountability Accountant, guys. So what I advise you guys to do, grab your pen and grab your paper. And if you're watching this on any social media platform, please take a minute and share the video with your friends, because I know you guys have questions. I know you guys haven't been doing things certainly correct, and you just need some advice. So tonight's show is all about the common problems that you guys face and me answering some of your questions. Okay. All right. So give me a few minutes, guys. I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back. Okay. Okay, guys. So welcome to the Money Zone. I'm your girl, Folasade, the Accountability Accountant, guys. I bless entrepreneurs with the accountability and the accounting that they need to build 6- and 7-figure businesses, save on their taxes, and build generational wealth. Guys, you are tuned into the Money Zone, and tonight's topic is all about taxes. A lot of the mistakes that I'm seeing that's happening this 2021 filing season, some of the general mistakes that you guys normally make. And because I want to educate and really correct and prevent you guys from making the mistakes that I've made and the mistakes that my clients have made, this is why we're having discussion tonight, okay? So if you guys are watching us on like Facebook or Periscope or whatever, or I think on ripradionetwork.com, you guys can probably post your questions inside of the feed and I can see the questions. But if not, I do have questions that I will be answering as well. So first of all, why am I talking about the common mistakes that you guys are making? You should know, because it's costing you guys a lot of money. One thing we don't understand and one thing that we don't realize is that the amount of taxes you pay correlates with how much money you're able to keep, okay? So if you're making $1 million, but you're only keeping 500,000, that means you are limited in what your resources can actually do for you. You are limited on the lifestyle that you can live. Like, you can say you're a millionaire, but for real, after those taxes hit, you're a thousandaire, right? So some of the common mistakes that you guys are making are costing you guys money from the inception of your business all the way until the succession of your business, when you're trying to pass it over to someone else and step away, okay? So if I were you, I would go ahead on and grab my pen and paper right now. So common mistake that a lot of you guys are making is that, number one, you're filing your tax returns late. Now, putting an extension in is fine, but when it comes down to that due date, you guys need to be meeting those due dates. But I'm seeing a common thread between my small business owners and really honestly everybody now, that once you get behind 1 year, once you file late 1 year, it just becomes a common thread. Every year you're filing late. Every year you're submitting your return beyond the due date. So what happens is you end up incurring interest and penalty charges, okay? You end up incurring additional charges. And so let's say, for example, the additional charges is $5,000. You was only supposed to pay $20,000 in taxes. But because you decided to drag your feet, because you decided not to do things, in a timely manner, then guess what happened? You ended up paying $25,000. That $5,000 could have went to your vacation. That $5,000 could have been you paying down some of your credit card debt. That $5,000 could have been you investing into your retirement account, or you hiring another team member, or you finally hiring that VA that you guys been wanting to hire. So honestly, guys, the amount of taxes correlates to your overall success. If you pay more than what you're supposed to, your bottom line is less. That means there's less profit in your business. So number one, file your taxes on time. Yes, the one extension is fine, but make sure by the due date it's filed. And I get the question every year, Folasade, can I do 2 extensions? Y'all know it's not 2 extensions. Okay, so write this down. If you are a partnership or an S Corp, your tax returns are due March 15th. They normally do not extend business returns, okay? March 15th. If you are an individual or a corporation, your taxes are due April 15th in normal years. But due to COVID, we've had that date pushed back. So this year it's May 17th, okay? So individuals and corporations, your taxes are due May 17th. Okay, your extensions for individuals and corporations is October 15th. You guys need to write these dates down because it's costing you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And you guys don't realize until you're looking down in arrears, or you don't want to deal with the IRS, or you really don't even want to file your taxes. So please, please, please be mindful of the interest and penalty charges that you guys are accruing when filing your taxes late. Okay? So another thing that is costing a lot of you money, and this is going to be a problem that many of you face in the upcoming years, because as I mentioned to you guys in November, the IRS is going to beef up their auditing, right? Okay, they've already been hiring people. And then due to the changes with the reporting requirements that I mentioned yesterday on Instagram, so if you guys are not following me on Instagram, you guys want to head over and follow me at Folasade the Accountant. Yesterday I mentioned on Instagram that they changed the reporting requirements for all of these merchants. So common mistake number 2 is under reporting your income. Guys, I don't care if you're making cash on the side of the road. You're supposed to claim it. Look, y'all, the system is so bad that even if you find $1,000 on the floor, do you know you're supposed to claim that on your taxes? If you find money outside, okay, you didn't even work for it, you found the money, $1,000 on the floor, you're supposed to pay taxes on that money too. So if you know you made some money from your side hustle or under the table or whatever the case may be, you still are required to file that income. But I'm seeing a common thread between so many people, and this new law now, this new modification, okay, to the laws are now going to mess all of you up, because you're not accustomed to claiming all of your Etsy income, because you're not accustomed to paying all of your PayPal income. You're not accustomed to doing things the way you're supposed to be doing it. So right now, some of you are underreporting your income. And now in this 2020 year, PayPal, Stripe, Authorize.net, Etsy, Shopify, and all of the sites, I'm going to start wrapping y'all, and all the sites, they're going to start reporting your income, the correct amount. So what does that mean for you? You can no longer underreport. That means don't claim all of your income. You have to, guys. And then one of the main reasons why you shouldn't underreport your income is because you're limiting your growth. A lot of you guys that have been underreporting your income all of these years just so had to magically claim all of the income to qualify for the PPP. Did I just say something? Did I just say something? For all of y'all that have been underreporting your income all of these years, you know last year was the first year you did right with you claimed some business income because you wanted to qualify for that PPP. So many of you are going to miss out on opportunities because you don't want to report your income correctly. You don't want to claim that cash. You don't want to claim that side hustle from Etsy. You don't want to claim just certain parts of revenue that you are legally required to claim on your taxes. So now, since we're in a digital age where it's really cash is obsolete right now, right? That's another reason why the IRS is stepping up and forcing these companies now to report everything. To report everything. So for all of you guys that make the common mistake, and some of you guys that make that common fraud decision, right, to not claim all of your income, this should be your last year. This should definitely be your last year. So that's number 2. All right. Common problems. Number 3, you guys are either try to be too informed or misinformed across the board. I'm seeing a little bit of the middle, but either the client think they know so much, and then they try to speak technical terms to me, right? And then I try to break it down to understand where they're coming from, because they use the technical terms in the wrong manner. So they confusing me. And I'm like, okay, so what you mean? So basically, too much knowledge. You're trying to know too much, and you're not able to digest the things that you really are supposed to be doing. So I don't even know what that common mistake is. Know it all. You think you know just as much as every other professional. Not to say I know everything or every other accountant know everything, because none of us know everything. But it gets to a point where you start to mess up the whole process. I haven't seen that happen so many times where clients be thinking they know everything, and I just be like, you know what, just go ahead and try to do your tax on your own, and it don't even work out well for them when they do that. So just know it all. Stop trying to be a know-it-all. But then, guess what? The stuff that you're supposed to be knowing about your business, you don't even know about that stuff. So you trying to read everything. Oh, well, they say this, or they said, okay, well, yeah, but they haven't even introduced the new law to that yet. Okay, well, I'm supposed to get the child tax credit. They haven't even updated the law yet. Okay, I'm trying to get they haven't even updated the forms yet. It's nothing we can do right now. So y'all too informed, and I blame the news for that. I blame the news for that. And I used to honestly do that. When I first started live streaming, y'all, around 2015, I would come out and give y'all all the news. Oh, they're going to approve this. Oh, they're going to do this. So then I realized was that y'all sleep with that idea that, oh my gosh, this may happen. So what I started to do was not tell you guys when they're discussing the changes, but actually telling you guys when the law has been implemented, because y'all are now expecting it. So right now, yes, they did approve the child tax credit, but they have not even considered the way that they're going to issue it. They've come up with a little bit of it, but the IRS haven't even issued regulations yet. They haven't even updated forms. So a lot of y'all are too informed. And it's messing you up because you're spending money before you even get it. I'm serious. Like, what I'm seeing now, folks spending money before they even get it. They're like, oh, I'm supposed to get the child tax credit, extra $1,000 I can spend. No, you can't, because they have not even updated the forms yet. So number 3, some of y'all are just too informed, and then for real, very, very misinformed, okay? Simply because you paying attention to every news cycle and the hopes and wish and the prayer. And my mother always say the government take care of fools and babies. And none of y'all babies, but some of y'all some fools. But this is the thing. You don't have to be. When they first execute something, like, it has to go through the laws. It has to be approved. They have to now implement regulations. It's a process, y'all. Like, chill. So y'all too informed on some areas. And the areas that y'all need to be informed about, like, what is a standard deduction? What is an itemized deduction? The basic things that are applicable to y'all, you don't want to know those important things. You don't want to know what you're supposed to be doing to keep better records. You refuse to take an extra 30 minutes to get better records so I can save you money on your taxes, whereas though all you're doing is just reading every damn thing, and then you still not keeping the records that I need. You're still not tracking what I need. So you being too informed now then left money on the table because you refuse to do what's important, which is keep good records. So for all of you guys that really want to save on some taxes, the number 4 common problem that you guys are having is that you're not keeping good records. Like, I cannot stress this any more than what I'm stressing right now. Proper record keeping, it distinguishes my overall success in an audit, or to be able to back up this expense for you. So if you come to me with very, very bad records, right? And you just scribble something on a form for me, and then I need you to pull those records for me because you got audited. You tell me I don't have a record. How am I going to win an audit? So that means you didn't take your time to do your part, didn't document things that I needed you to document, but you want me to save you. You want me to try to save you as much money as possible, prevent you guys from being audited, but you don't want to stick to the cardinal rule of beating the tax system, and that's documentation. You have to document everything, your travel, your meals, your everything in and out of your business. Yes. You have to track everything. We're leaving money on the table, and that is one of the common mistakes, that your lack of documentation is preventing you from maximizing your tax deductions. But y'all want accountants to risk their lives. Y'all going to shady preparers because they're willing to throw things on your taxes when all you really have to do is be strategic, strategize, and execute and document. When I taught my How to Hire Your Child masterclass, right, which is going to be coming back soon, that is key number one. Everybody talking about you don't need to issue your child W-2s. You don't need to do this. They are lying. You have to have a lot of documentation, or you're going to be just like every other court case that went against the tax court division and lost because they didn't keep proper records when they said that they're hiring their child. But y'all sitting there, doing everything else, making sure everything else is good enough for Instagram probably, but y'all not doing what y'all need to be doing in real life. And in real life, you need to be keeping documentation. In real life, you need to be tracking everything. In real life, you're supposed to have a personal budget and a business budget. And in real life, that's how I'm really able to save you money. That's how I'm able to help you invest your money, because you got your stuff in order. You know what your disposable income is, and I can do what I need to do as your accountant. It is very frustrating that you guys think that everything just fly out of the world, out of the sky, and just bloop on your table because you refuse to keep proper records. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. We're going to 2020. We're in 2020. I said we're going to 20. We're in 2021, guys. It's easier to keep records down than what it ever been. So stop being lazy and let's save some money, because it's too much now. All right, guys. So number 4, audits. Number 4, audits. Many of you are not prepared because you're not doing number 3. No, number 5 is audits. Many of you are not prepared if you guys were to get audited because you're not keeping proper documentation. And remember, I told you guys the IRS is going to beef up their auditing because they're trying to get some of this trillions of dollars back. And the only way the government make money is through taxes. So they have to be aggressive with the auditing, especially of small businesses, because that's where mainly the opportunity lies. But because we don't want to keep proper documentation, I won't be able to win your audit. You won't stand a chance. And then what you guys don't understand, that if you understate your income above like 25%, or you cheat on your deductions above 25%, it can be considered fraud. And then depending on the amount of it can lead to criminal charges. Like, I don't know if you guys have not seen this in real world, but in real world, people are getting their houses snatched by the IRS. In real world, people's homes and cars and bank accounts are being snatched from the IRS. And in the real world, it is businesses that are out here getting their bank accounts snatched up from IRS because they refuse to do things the right way. Common mistake that all of you making is that you think the severity of the consequences of cheating on your taxes is very slim to none. Oh, I'm not going to get caught. Everybody been doing it. I've been doing this for 5 years. That's what I get. Oh, I've been doing this for 5 years, and they be serious like this. Folasade, I've been doing it for 5 years. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. I've been doing this for 5 years. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I sit in audits every year. I don't know what I'm talking about. The issue is that they haven't caught up with you. They haven't caught up with you. I have clients now that I'm working. I literally have over millions of dollars worth of tax representations and resolution cases that me and my team are presently working on right now. Some didn't pay payroll taxes. Some didn't pay corporation taxes. Some didn't pay personal taxes. I'm talking about across the board. Some of them owe so much money from previous years, they're trying to get the amount of money reduced and get it settled. Some, they owe tax from years and years. Now they're in a dire, strained situation. They can't keep up with their payment plans, and I got to get them out of it. Everybody's situation is different, but what I realized is this, that most of the situations are caused by your doing. You know you're not paying tax, so we're going into number 6. And this, my whole order on my list, y'all, is all over the place. So I may not even be able to repeat them for you. So I'm hoping you guys then took some notes. But I got them, but it's not in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I moved them around. So number 6. You guys know that on your W-2, right now, if you look at your pay stub, you all know if you're not paying any taxes. So why wait 2 years down the line when you know you owed $10,000 last year in taxes, and then now you owe another $10,000 in taxes to feel like it's a problem? You knew when you got that pay stub and that check was higher than what it's supposed to be. At that point, you saw that you didn't pay any state taxes or you didn't pay any federal taxes. But many of you choose to get comfortable with that amount. You adjust your lifestyle, start spending above your means, and then come to find out 2 years down the road, you owe $30,000 in taxes. They're sending you garnishment letters. Now you're calling my office for me to help you get it settled, which I'll be gladly to help you get it settled, but it should not result to this. Cardinal rule number 6, pay taxes on what you know you're supposed to be paying taxes on. If you work a 9 to 5 and you're not paying any taxes and you make $80,000, $70,000, $60,000, you need to be paying taxes. If you know that you're receiving retirement benefits and some of your retirement benefits say taxable, you need to be paying taxes. You know, if you got that small business and your business is profitable, if you're not strategizing, you're probably going to be paying taxes. So a lot of the problems that many of you guys are getting yourself on could have been prevented. But because you're doing your taxes via TurboTax, because you refuse to do a consultation with me, because you forget that you are sometimes you forget you're so informed, but you're so misinformed that you forget that I'm the expert, and you should really just sit down and say, Folasade, what's really going on? Because you haven't figured it out yet. You've been Googling and everything, and you still don't know what the problem is. Everybody tells you start a business to save on taxes. So you started that business. Now the IRS is after you because you claim the losses from the business. So what do you do now? So that goes right into number 7, listening to people on the streets. I don't even know if that is that's not listed nowhere, but that's common in our community. So what we're going to do, guys, I got to take me a sip of water. We're going to take a quick little break, about a 2-minute break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about the impact of you guys listening to people on the street. Yes, y'all watch the news. Yes, they probably watch the news, but the news don't really give you guys the gist of everything. The news don't dissect the laws. The news are just regurgitating stuff to put it out there so they can be the first to market. But that don't make you an expert. Then you at the round table, all your family, half of y'all don't even know shit. Half of y'all don't even know nothing. So y'all sitting around and talking and stuff, and then y'all coming up with these bright ideas, and it's just a mess, y'all. So when we come back, I'm going to take a quick little break. We're going to go right into why listening to people on the street just doesn't work. You guys need to work with your own professional that knows some stuff. So we'll be right back. Your refund is not something extra, okay? That's another thing. Y'all sit here not even understanding that if you broke, you do need to find somebody to help you with your coins. I don't know why y'all think that accountants and financial advisors only work for the rich. Hell nah. I had to financially advise myself to even get to where I am now. Shit, when I was getting refunds, I had to financially advise myself on how to
busy. I really did. I had Brim. Brim was born 2012. Started the business 2011, August. I got my refund and I put it right back into the business. I didn't have employees then. I didn't have a big office. I didn't have all of the stuff that we got right now, right? I put it back into the business. So I had to financially advise myself too. So regardless of how much money you have or how much money you don't have, are you being smart with what you have? Are you going to do right with what you have? Make some investments, save some stuff, start your business, do some things. But the last thing I want you guys to do is just fuck it up. And that's been one of my drinks. That's my little Drake song. No, that's the last thing I want you guys to do, because we're still treading light waters right now, y'all. I don't know when we're going to get out of all of this mess. And I don't see anything happening overnight, because there's too much policies happening. They haven't even really niched down and say who deserves what or who's supposed to get what. Biden is putting in so many executive orders and doing so much that they're blindly not even seeing that we're developing more and more problems as we're growing, as we're moving. So that's another story. We talk about taxes. Do not file your taxes via TurboTax. I know you cheapskates and all of y'all like, Folasade, here you go again with this nonsense. Y'all know, every year I say it because I want you guys to do better. And let me give you a real live example of why TurboTax is never really that satisfying for all of you. Okay, number one, I had a client call. They've already paid their invoice and moved forward, but they called the office. Well, Randy called them and scheduled a meeting with me, right? And so the first thing that the individual and his wife was saying was that they're not certain that they've been able to maximize
Hey guys, and we are back. So before we went into our break, we were talking about the common mistakes that I'm noticing just in general from the years and years of just being in business. And honestly, nothing really has changed. Okay, so we were going into number 7, listen to everybody but the right people. You know, I do encourage you guys to have these type of conversations at the family table. I do encourage you guys to sit down with your family at cookouts and at events and talk about finances and things like that. We honestly have to get more comfortable with doing that. But the problem that I'm seeing is that there's a lot of misinformation and just mistruth going around from people that are not actually experts. Not everybody have your best interest in hand, guys. I'm going to be honest. Not everybody wants you guys to save on your taxes and build generational wealth like me. Not everybody want you guys to not get audited. Not everybody want the good for mostly everybody. Most of the people that's in the business, became side hustlers, and it's not really like solid professionals that's doing the issues, the dirty work. It's the people that do taxes for a side hustle. It's the people that's not the shade on my credit repair people, but it's the people that's doing the credit repair, the taxes, and all of that, where they are telling people that you can just claim this or you can just do this and just giving false information. And that is what I'm noticing is being communicated at the family dining room tables. The real information is not being transferred from person to person. So like, for example, I heard that you're supposed to be able to keep documentation to back up your tax deductions. Oh, well, I ain't never have to give Bob nothing to file my taxes. So what your lady talking about? Bob never asked me for nothing. Like, that's real world, y'all. Like, my clients be telling me stuff like that when they start telling people what I tell them and stuff, and people like, oh, well, she asked for too much. My folks don't ask for that. Well, your folks may not be fully legit or care about the impact of them not doing their part. I'm not trying to lose my licenses. I don't want you guys to get audited. So you have to understand that it's listening to people in certain circumstances is needed and necessary. But listen to people that really are not doing things the right way should be off of your plate right now. If you know they're doing shady things, please don't take their advice. Please don't go to that tax person and you know that your cousin don't do their stuff right, because you're getting yourself right into their mess. Because every year, guys, I get a group of individuals where somebody recommended this tax person to them. They all go to that tax person, and guess what? They end up getting audited. So guess what they do? They go and find another person to do taxes for them. And so every year I get a surge of a group of people that needs to find someone else to do their taxes. And the reason being is because that tax professional or the street hustler, whatever you want to call them, right? The tax hustler or whatever, right? Did some shady stuff. So now they're running from the IRS, and then now you got notices, and now you're owing. Guys, I have a lot of clients that are owing from years and years and years from when they were having them shady preparers do their taxes. So my advice, can we stop listening to the people that just don't do things right? We in 2021, we try and live free, happy, and live the life and live the dream, right? And living the dream does not mean dodging from IRS. Living the dream does not mean claiming fake deductions on your taxes and doing things shady. That does not mean living the dream. Living the dream is just doing things right and use tax system legally to build generational wealth, pay as little as you're supposed to, right? Legally. That's it. And play the game like the rich folks play. Hire your child so they can take over the business, and you save on taxes, and you do this. You do this other strategy so you can save in your retirement. You do this other strategy so you can build your real estate portfolio. But you guys not talking about the real strategy. Y'all talking about the fallacies and the lies and the stuff that I want you guys to stay away from now. Especially since I know a lot of you guys are going to be audited soon. It's no need to dig a deeper hole. It is very sad, y'all, what I see on the front end. I'm telling you, it's very depressing. And I hate when my clients owe money. But I can't take it personal because most of them just don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Okay? So number 7, stop listening to everyday folks about the things that you know they are not good at. If you know they shady, don't listen to them. And last but not least, the common mistake that you guys are making is you lack integrity. Many of you guys know that tax person, this goes into number 7, that tax person was shady. You knew something was wrong. You felt it. But because either you wanted to fit in with that group, you didn't want the person that referred the person to you to feel some kind of way, right? So you went along with the program. So you lacked some form of integrity. I remember I had one client, I ended up firing a client. It was like, well, give me my QuickBooks account because I don't know if you're going to mess up my account. Me? I said, you don't even know who I am. I said, me do that? Do I even have the time to even go and mess up the bookkeeping that I've done? I'm going to do that? I don't lack integrity. You have the wrong one. Just because I'm black, okay? Like I even put a black card. Just because I'm black does not mean that I lack integrity. You will not catch me up doing anything shady to my client. But a lot of people don't have that high level of integrity where regardless of what it is, what it be, how much money it is. And it's so interesting that we talk about this because today I did career day at Bryn School. And so one of the moms was a IRS agent, and I'm an IRS enroll agent, so I fight and go against them for you guys. So I really work for you guys, and she worked for the IRS. And the kids, all of the third graders, was asking, oh, so how do you deal with fraud? If you know the money isn't correct, what do you guys do as an accountant? If somebody is trying to cheat and steal or hack your accounts, what do you do? Like the third graders, y'all, was so curious about theft, hacking, people taking money, the integrity. How do I check it? And it was just interesting to me. So I'm curious now to think that, are our kids and youth tempted by TV or tempted by our discussions that's triggering them to know about theft, hacking, when the numbers don't add up, when people stealing? Why are third graders so curious about theft and stealing and not doing things right? And how I find out that it's not done right. The kids were literally asking me that, and I was intrigued because I was able to spin it and give them little lessons about how to protect themselves, and use certain accounting jargon and say, oh, well, your internal controls have to do this, and explain to them what that means. So it's interesting, but now I'm curious, are we in a society that lacks integrity? Are we in a society that's tempted to commit fraud all the time? Where are we as a whole? And this wasn't just Black kids. My daughter's school is multicultural. It's Black, Mexican, white, Ethiopian, African, all sorts of everybody up in there. Asian, the works, okay? They colorful at her school. And so with that being said, all of them ask that. So are we in a society that just don't want to do things on a straight and narrow, or it just seems cool to cheat the system a little bit? It seems cool to not do things right. Like, is it cool to you guys to get more money every year on your taxes when you know you're not supposed to? But when that cool turns into pain is what hurts me the most. It hurts me to see you guys continuously do this every year. But it hurts me the most to know that you guys, honestly, I can't even blame the preparers all the time. It is you guys just don't want to do your stuff right. And as the accountability accountant, guys, I cannot take away your level of responsibility in trying to do things right for the tax system and paying as little tax as you're supposed to legally, and taking advantage of it the way you're supposed to, ethically. My concern is the pain that it's going to cost many of you. So if you're not doing your bookkeeping right now, because I've been warning you guys since November, December, January, February, March, 5 months. I've been warning you guys for 5 months. The IRS is going to start auditing people. Don't be surprised when you get your letter to mail. So go ahead on and just do your bookkeeping now. Go ahead on and start getting the paperwork organized and getting some type of system in place to track your things. Go ahead on and hire me as your bookkeeper and get it together. Go ahead on. It's time now that you guys get uncomfortable, but you do it because you want to be in business for a long term. You want to sleep at night, and you don't want to be looking over your shoulder. So if you know you haven't filed taxes for years and years and years, this past 7 months, I've gotten about 20 odd people caught up on years and years of back taxes. You're talking about from 2014. I'm even doing tax from 2008, y'all. But these people are deciding that they're not going to look over their shoulder no more. They're not going to run from the IRS no more. They're going to do things the right way. And I advise each and every one of you guys to do that now, and especially since the game has completely changed. You can no longer hide money in PayPal and Stripe and Etsy and Clover and Amazon and make your little coins, your 19,000, your 18,000. your 15,000, your 10, your 5,000, your 4,000, whatever that number is, and don't pay taxes. That game has come and the game has ran over. It is done. It has ended. IRS has won. You can no longer underreport your income unless you want to get audited. So let's stop. I gave you guys 8 common mistakes that a lot of you guys are making. Go back and watch this on ripradionetwork.com or all of the podcast platforms within 24 hours. If it's before 24 hours, go to ripradionetwork.com. If you want to watch it 2 days from now, you can go to like Apple and all of the places and watch the show there too, and listen to the show there and take notes. I wish you guys can see the audits that I'm in. I have an audit that I'm sitting in on Friday. I just submitted paperwork for audit already. I have 8 resolution cases, meaning they owe money and I'm settling. Okay. You're talking about between 10 and 15 representation cases me and my team are working on every month. And it's going to get worse. So this is your warning, guys. Let's do things right. Hold ourselves accountable for our level of success that we want. Stop cheating on your taxes. It's hurting you more financially than you think. I have clients now, knowing they didn't do things right years ago. They now want to buy a house. They can't buy a house because the numbers don't add up. They didn't make enough money on paper. But that's on them. I have people that can't even get cars because they didn't do things right. So not claiming your income can stop you from buying that house too, can stop you from getting that car, can stop your business from getting that loan. It's not just to cheat and don't pay taxes. By you cheating, it's going to stop you from being able to get real investments and to level up your businesses. So we in 2021, guys, let's do things the right way. Let's hold ourselves accountable to have some level of integrity. Okay? And let's just shut it down and do things right and make that money, guys. I'm your girl, Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. You've been watching The Money Zone on ripradionetwork.com. If you guys are not following me on all things social media, please do. Folasade, the accountability accountant, and Folasade, the accountant on Instagram. Also join our mailing list by going to bit.ly/TMZ. Get notified. I always screw up. Get notified, TMZ, guys. And you don't want to miss out for what we have in store, guys. You all have an amazing night, and I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday. Same time, same place. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.